What's up everyone, welcome to Bucharest and to the new video where I will be presenting you how I photoshoot directly with 50mm lens, and I'm using this Lumix lens 1.4 S Pro, which is in my opinion brilliant, and I'm preparing the review for this one a little bit later because I really want to shoot on it crazily. It's heavy, but it's almost perfect. So the review will be about the pluses and also like very few minuses of this lens. Really, obviously guys, this is something crazily brilliant. If you compare it to the other lens from Lumix 1.8, you can see some differences already, but there are much more to come, and I would say even to many other lenses which are on the market, if not most. But this will not be a review, this will be about how I shoot and how I perceive 50mm lens. And I will compare it in this photo shoot also a 35mm lens. This one is Sigma DGDN Art 1.4 35mm from Sigma. I think I said it twice, Sigma, doesn't matter. And I really would like to pinpoint why I shoot it, why I use it, what kind of outcomes are from those lens, or the reason, because I think the reasoning behind what lens you use is the most important than what lens you use. The most important thing is why are you using this lens, if you know why. And this is what I will describe you after this short clip.
I'll try.
I really would like you to be more like
Okay, I'll try. Portrait of me on the wall.
oh,
like
nice.
That. But smaller. But I don't know if it's still good.
Oh my god, I didn't expect. So they are repairing it? They want to? It's more about to be...
I don't think so.
Oh my, okay, let's stay here first. I want to see it, you know. I think you should put them on. So Mara, do you know how Bucharest is called in Czech language? Bucharest.
Oh.
The same? Yes, the same. Oh, we just ended up here. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we will use this hallway. The fuck cool. Amazing results. So we are done. Let's go from this shit hole. I will show you.
Yeah.
So Mada, how are your feelings so far?
Great.
But not just great, this is just a word, you know, one word. You cannot answer me with one word.
It's so difficult. I feel amazing. We did some amazing work and the photos turned out very good. And we're doing some more.
Piazza Romana, our next stop, and our last stop. Gata! Alright, that's it. This is how I shot with Mada. You can see this is a brilliant model. And of course, regardless what lens you use, it's extremely important to communications. That's why I was talking throughout the whole video, just in general, a lot. Because I think the model needs a direction, needs to know what you want, why you need it, what kind of thing you need. And of course, better model, it's a profession after all, will give you something more, something, you know, different. Everybody's a little bit different. That's why this casting for models is very important. But of course, Mara is brilliant. Mara is also my friend. She's also a photographer herself here in Bucharest, and we are sharing the same studio. together. So if you are getting here, don't hesitate to reach us out, or at least me. I of course putting her handle for Instagram, so you can also follow her here. Why we were photo shooting in two various dresses. First of all, my first look was about to be more urban wear, urban mood, urban feeling, but with a perspective of a model. This is somehow how I perceive, for example, the campaign for HMM. This is how I would see it, kind of. Of course, kind of is more about the model, a little bit more about the dress, but not so much about the surroundings. Yes, I want to concentrate on the model, and this 50mm gives me this, let's say, more vibrant detail on the model, but yet it gives a little bit more context that, for example, if I would use 85 or 135mm lens, because they completely take the subject into focus in the way how they perceive the subject in front of you in the lens. 50mm, it's a little bit, let's say, compromise of being long lens, but still with a little bit of detail behind. And this is how I kind of perceive that this dress belongs to this kind of environment. But I'm not focusing too much on the environment. It's not about environment, it's about the subject, and the subject completely. In contrary, or on contrary, the 35mm lens red dress I took especially because, first of all, I wanted to show this Coca-Cola sign behind us. I want to see it in this Piazza Romana, very crowded place full of cars, but also this old gray but very stylish building with this retro vibe, Coca-Cola advertisement. I really wanted to see it behind us to connect red dress with Coca-Cola. I didn't really expect that we will also get to those very old garages which are now about to be demolished or reconstructed or something, I don't know. But after all, brilliant place for photo shooting, and again with this contrast red and blue, like you cannot even invent it, how brilliant I felt how it was. And again, in here at 35mm was brilliant in the case that I could show much more of the surroundings. So the subject of me, which is the lady in red, kind of, it's in crazy contrast in what it's all around her. So she of course pops out, but you can also enjoy the whole feeling, the whole vibrant vibe of the picture, of still, at least from my perspective. Of course, you can tell you like the photos or you don't like them, but this is the reason. 50mm I use because this is my favorite lens in general for everything, but I use it for portraits more likely because I want to focus on the subject with a little bit of more potential of doing some a little bit more creative shots from various angles, which 85mm, because you need to be, for example, far, will not really give you the same thing. 50mm still gives you a little bit, and 35 I use because I want to show the context behind the subject. Of course, you can use 24mm, you can use 16mm, you can use 105mm, you can use any kind of lens, guys. There is nothing like perfect portrait lens, because basically a portrait lens can be any kind of lens. The reason why 85 on 135 are set perfect or the most relevant portrait lens, it's exactly because of the feeling they give you. They give you the locked subject, which is really extremely about the subject. You can say by all the curves and everything, this is all about the subject, and everything around it, it's compressed much more. So only what your eye cares is there. The other ones, the 50, let's say the 35, respectively 24, it's a little bit different story. You basically move and move and move something else, but you can be creative with whatever. So this is not what lens you should use, but why I chose 50 and then why I chose 35. What was the reasoning behind it? Because when you go photo shooting and you know the certain area you go to photo shoot, you need, or you should ask yourself, what I really want to shoot, why I want to shoot exactly this, what I want to see in the image. Because, for example, even the space might not allow you to do certain stuff with different lens, because basically 50 is zooming too much forward. When you don't have a space, you cannot do it. So you need to choose, you need to know, and this is why it's extremely important for you to know your lens, or know the lenses, the capabilities, and also your creative vision in advance. Of course, you can always adapt and think about something else, but if you have something certain in your head, for example, me, Coca-Cola sign and the subject in front, I wouldn't be able to shoot it with 50 without being hit by a car, and also I wouldn't be able to create such a perspective with 50 millimeters. So that's why 35. I of course could choose 24, which would be too much of a context also. So this is it. This is what I want to say by this video. I'm very curious in the comments below what you will say. Don't worry to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and buy me a coffee or my presets if you want to support me. It would be very, very welcomed. And basically, that's it. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.